Botany online classroom. We are going to discuss about Papilionaceae family. It comes under the unit Taxonomy, paper 2, BSc Life Sciences. Contents: Introduction, Classification, Vegetative characters, Floral characters, Economic importance. So now we come to introduction part. Papilionaceae family is also called Fabaceae. It is also known as Leguminaceae. It is the third largest family. This family is represented by 482 genera and 7,200 species as per Bentham and Hooker's classification. Bentham and Hooker divided this Leguminaceae into three subfamilies: Papilionoideae, Cisalpinoideae and Mimosoideae. But as most of the recent taxonomists treat these subfamilies as the three distinct families. That means they are treating these subfamilies as families like Papilionaceae or Fabaceae, Cisalpinaceae and Mimosaceae. So we are following the same system. So we are treating this as a family. This family Papilionaceae is called as Fabaceae and also can be called as Leguminaceae. So the distribution, the members of this family are distributed mostly in the temperate regions, and in India Fabaceae is represented by many important genera. The family is represented by 482 genera and 7,200 species as we discussed earlier, and some of the important plants of this family we are going to see later. And now we see the classification part. The class Dicotyledons, subclass Polypetalae, series Calyciflorae, order Rosalis. Now we see the identification key based on the what are the important characters it is classified. So based on the reticulate venation, so there are different kinds of the venations like parallel venation and reticulate venation. So this is the characteristic feature. Reticulate venation is the characteristic feature of the dicots, and parallel venation is the characteristic feature of the monocots, and also two other features like taproot system and adventitious root system. So taproot system is found in dicots, and if it is the adventitious root system, it is considered as monocot. So based on these two characters like reticulate venation and taproot system, this family is kept under the class dicots or Dicotyledonnae. Next, dichlamydeous flowers are found in this family members. So in the perianth is differentiated into calyx and corolla. If the perianth is in two whorls, it is called as dichlamydeous. If it is in a single oral, it is called as monoclambius. Since we find diclambious flowers in these family members, it is kept under the subclass polypetalae or gamopetalae. But based on the second character, that is whether the petals are free or fused. If the petals are free, that means polypetalae subclass. If the petals are fused, it is also called gamopetalous condition, and those plants are kept under the subclass gamopetalae. So now in this family we observe both the diclambious flower and free petals, that means polypetalous character. So it is kept under the subclass polypetalae. And sepals are united at base. Based on this character, this family is kept under the series Calyciflorae. So now we see the important plants, popular plants of this family. Here we see Abrus precatarius. It is also popularly called as Guruvinda. And Butea monosperma. It is also popularly known as flame of the forest and also called as Moduga. And one more, Cajanus cajan. It is most important pulses. So in our daily life we use this dal. For the dal curry making we use this red gram, Cajanus cajan. It is also called as red gram and also called as Kandulu in Telugu. And Cannavalia gladiata. It is also popularly called as Tammakaya. And Clitoria ternata. It is called as Shankupushpi. And the most important commercial crop, Crotalaria gentiana. It is also popularly known as sunham and also called as jute. For making jute it is very useful. And we see the habit status of the family members. Most of the plants of the family are herbs like Tephrosia, Purpurea, Medicago and Crotalaria species. So all these are herbaceous plants. And we also see some of the shrubs like Indigofera and Sesbania sesban, etc. And herbaceous climber Pisum sativum. Twiners like Dolichos lablab. So these are the climbers. And we also find some of the trees like Dalbergia sisu, Dalbergia latifolia, Pterocarpus xantlinum, Pterocarpus marsupium, etc. These are the trees found in this family. So now we see the vegetative characters of this family. So we consider root characters, stem characters and leaf characters as the vegetative characters. Now we see the root characters. So in the family members we find taproot system. It is most common feature, and also the characteristic feature of the Fabaceae family is the presence of nodular roots. So it is one of the most important features of the family, which is distinguished from the other family member characters. So what is the importance of the nodular roots? So these nodular roots provide the shelter for the symbiotic bacteria called as rhizobium. So rhizobium bacteria, it fixes the atmospheric nitrogen in the gases formed to the ammonia and provide this fixed nitrogen to the plants of the Fabaceae family. So these Fabaceae plants are most important in nitrogen fixation. It is one of the natural nitrogen fixation. It is also called as biological nitrogen fixation. Usually in agricultural field, scientists advise to grow the Fabaceae family members along with other crops. It is also called as mixed crop because these Fabaceae or Papilionaceae plants, they fix the atmospheric nitrogen continuously and they enrich the soil with the fixed nitrogen. It boosts the nitrogen content in the crop. And also agricultural scientists advise to do the crop rotation with the Fabaceae family. If once they grow the paddy crop, next year they should grow one of the Fabaceae family members like Cajanus cajani, so that soil will be enriched by the nitrogen with the help of the symbiotic rhizobium bacteria. These bacteria in return get the nourishment from the plant, so they are called as symbiotic bacteria. So in the stem we find like usually erect stems, branched, solid and hairy, and we find the aerial stem, usually herbaceous, and in case of the trees we find the woody stem. Usually the climbers, the stem in the climbers is weak and they possess tendrils for the climbing purpose. And in case of the leaves, we usually find colline and ramal leaves, and usually they are stipulate, and also one of the important features is the presence of the pulvinate leaf base. So it is useful in the movement of the leaves. So it provides the osmotic potential, osmotic pressure. They show the movements based on the change in the osmotic potential in the leaf base. So the swollen leaf base is called as pulvinate leaf base. That is one of the important features of the family. And leaves are usually arranged alternatively, and we find the simple leaves in case of the Crotalaria species and Alicicarpus, etc. And also we find pinnately compound leaves in case of Sesbania, Sesbum, Abrus, Dalbergia species. And in some of the plants like Trifolium and Dolichos lab, we find digitately compound leaves. In Lathyrus and Pisum sativa, the terminal leaflets are modified into tendrils. As we see earlier here in Pisum sativum, the terminal leaves are modified into tendrils and they are useful in the climbing purpose. And in case of the Phaseolus, Desmodium and Trifolium plants, we can observe the sleep movements in the leaves, as the pulvinate leaf base shows the differences in the osmotic pressure, and they show the sleep movements in the Physiolus, Desmodium gyrans and Trifolium plants. Now we see the simple leaves in case of the Crotalaria species. It is Crotalaria hebecarpa, and we see the trifoliate leaves. These are the digitally compound leaves. These are also called as trifoliate leaves. We observe trifoliate leaves in alpha and Dolichos labella, and we find the pinnately compound leaves in case of Tephrosia purpurea. Now we come to the next part, floral characters. In the floral characters, we observe the inflorescence, calyx characters, corolla characters, androecium, gynoecium, pollination, etc. So mostly in this family members we find the racemose inflorescence, usually simple racemose inflorescence. Example, Dolichos labella. Here we see in the Dolichos labella, this is most important feature here. In the inflorescence axis, we observe the pedicellate leaves. They are arranged in acripetal direction. So we observe the solitary flowers in case of the Clitoria ternata. And floral characters, we observe the bracteate flowers, that means bract is present, and it is shown as BR, and flowers are pedicellate and bracteolate. Two bracteoles are present at both sides of the pedicel. It is also shown as BRL, and complete flowers are complete, that means all the floral parts are present like calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. All these floral parts are present in the flower, so it is called as complete flower. And flowers are zygomorphic in this family. So this is one of the important features, like we find the papilionaceous kind of the corolla. This is the most important features of the family. Based on this kind of the papilionaceous corolla, it is named as Papilionaceae. Okay, what is the papilionaceous corolla? So we discuss about it later. And flowers are bisexual. Bisexual means both the androecium and gynoecium are present. And now once again, these flowers are called as zygomorphic. That means there is no 100% symmetry in the flowers. Due to the presence of the papilionaceous corolla, the symmetry is changed. It can be cut into two equal halves only. It can be cut in one plane only, not in all planes. It can be cut into in a single plane into two equal halves. So these flowers are called as zygomorphic. And flowers are bisexual because both the androecium gynoecium are present. And flowers are called perigynous based on the position of the gynoecium. It is called as perigynous. All the floral parts arranged surrounding the gynoecium or ovary in this family. So these are called as perigynous flowers. Surrounding the ovary, surrounding the gynoecium, remaining floral parts are arranged peripherally. And also we find 5 sepals, 5 petals and 10 stamens in the family. So these flowers are called as pentamerous. So now we come to the characters of the calyx. There are 5 sepals in the family members, and mostly all of them have gamosepalous condition. That means 5 sepals are fused to form a cup-like structure, and we find the odd sepal at the anterior side. And in case of the corolla, we find 5 petals. So it is the most important feature here. As we discussed earlier, these family members show the papilionaceous kind of corolla. That means we see the largest petal arranged at the posterior side, and it is very attractive. It acts as a flag. It is also called as standard petal. It attracts the insects by its color. And we see the 5 petals here, and they are called as polypetalous because they are free except the heel petals. Below the standard petal, we find 2 petals called as wing petals. And below these 2 wing petals, we find 2 fused heel petals. They cover the essential organs, that means androecium and gynoecium. And when we come to the aestivation, here we see descendingly imbricate aestivation. That means the uppermost petal, that is standard petal, covers the petals which are below the standard petal. That means wing petals are covered by standard petal, and the keel petals are arranged below the wing petals, and these are covered by the wing petals. So this kind of the aestivation is called as descendingly imbricate aestivation. This is also one of the important features of the family. In the androecium, we find 10 stamens, but there are 2 types, diadelphous and monadelphous. So here we see out of the 10 stamens, 1 stamen filament is free and remaining 9 stamen filaments are fused to form a single bundle. This condition is also called as 9+1 condition or diadelphous condition. But in case of some of the plants like Crotalaria, we find monadelphous condition. All the 10 stamen filaments are fused to form a single bundle, so it is called as monadelphous condition. And here we find in the stamen the anther shows 2 lobes, so it is called as bithecous condition. There are 2 anther lobes in the anther, so it is called as bithecous, and they are arranged towards the ovary, towards the center, so they are called as intrors. The arrangement is called as intrors, and they show the longitudinal dehiscence. That means after the maturity of the anther, this anther dehisces, breaks open longitudinally, so it is called as longitudinal dehiscence. And in the gynoecium, we find the monocarpellary ovary. That means it is made up of a single carpel. Ovary is made up of single carpel, and it shows the single locule, that is called as unilocular condition. And ovary is superior, and sometimes it is also called as half superior. And ovary shows marginal placentation. That means ovules are arranged along the margin of the ovary. All the ovules are arranged at the margin. So this kind of the placentation is called as marginal placentation. Now we see the Pisum sativum here, the stem, leaves. Here we see the modified stipules. We see the foliar stipules. That means they appear like leaves. The stipules are modified as leaves. So they are called as foliar stipules. And we observe the compound leaves here. These are pinnately compound leaves. But the terminal leaflets in the compound leaf are modified into tendrils, and they are useful in the climbing. So these plants can climb based on the tendrils. And we see the flower here. It shows the largest standard petal in the top, and below the standard petal we find at both sides the wing petals, and we also see the innermost keel petals here. So when these are dissected, we can see separately the uppermost standard petal here, and also below the standard petal two wing petals, and below the wing petals we find two fused keel petals. So it is also called as 1 plus 2 plus 2 condition. That means two petals are kept in within brackets as they are fused. And here we see the marginal placentation in the ovary. Ovules are arranged at the margin, and we can see the capitate stigma. Here in the floral diagram we see the outermost one is called as calyx, and it shows 5 sepals which are fused, also called as gamosepalous condition. And in the next level we find the 5 petals which shows the descendingly imbricate aestivation. The uppermost one, as we see here, is standard petal, and here below the standard petal we find the wing petals which are covered by the uppermost standard petal, and here we see the innermost petals. They are called as keel petals, which two are fused, and these two are covered by the upper one, these are wing petals. So this is called as descendingly imbricate aestivation. And in the androecium we find 10 stamens. Here we see one separate stamen, and here the remaining 9 stamen filaments are fused to form a single bundle. So we have to show the stamen here, the 10th one, separately. So this is also called as 9 plus 1 condition, 9 within brackets. And here we see the ovary, monocarpellary, and also unilocular ovary, and the ovule is located at a margin at one side. So this is called as marginal placentation. So we also find one characteristic pollination mechanism in this family, that is called as piston mechanism. So here, as we discussed earlier, that posterior odd petal, it is also called as standard petal. It acts like a advertising flag. It is very colorful, and it attracts the insects. Below this standard petal there are two wing petals which are arranged laterally, and these wing petals provide landing space for the insect. When the insect visits the flower, it lands on the wing petals. When the insect lands on the wing petals, the pressure is exerted on the petals which are arranged below. These are the keel petals. Due to the weight of the insect, these keel petals are open, and the stamens and pistil which are covered inside, they come out suddenly like a piston, and they just brushes the insect body. They touch the insect body like a piston. So the pollen of the stamens dusted onto the insect body. So this insect which carries the pollen grains visit some other flowers. So there this cross pollination occurs. The pollen of the one plant flower is carried by the insect, and when the insect visits several flowers, usually cross pollination occurs. So this piston mechanism facilitates the cross pollination. It is one of the mechanisms to favor the cross pollination. So now we see in the one of the Crotalaria species the dissected floral parts here. These are the birds, and here we see, so these are the sepals here, and here we see the standard petal, and below we find two wing petals, and below we find two keel petals. Here we see the ovary and also stamens. Here in the stamens we see the anther, Bythecus anthers, and one free filament here observed, and 9 filaments are fused to form two bundles, that is called diadelphous condition. So here we see the pollen grains under the microscope, pollen grains which are germinating on the media, and we see the insect visiting the flowers. So we can see the piston mechanism. So now we come to economic importance of the family, and also we have to discuss about the fruit here. The fruit usually is called as legume. The dehiscence occurs at both sides of the fruit, at the ventral side and at the dorsal side. So we call this fruit as legume fruit. And lumentum type of the fruit is observed in the Desmodium species, and we find Samara type of the fruit in Pterocarpus. So the fruits of the Pterocarpus have the wing-like structures. They are called as Samara. They are useful in the dispersal of the fruits and seeds. And the seed is dicotyledonous and non-endospermic in this family. So now we come to economic importance. The family is of great economic importance and ranks second after Poaceae, because this family provides food material, lot of food material. There are different types of the plants here. They provide different kinds of the food material. The members of this family provide important foodstuffs, valuable fodder, fatty oils, useful fibers, timbers, dyes, gums, and several beautiful ornamental plants also. So in the pulses we see Pisum sativum. This is also popularly called as Batani, the Mendel's plant. And Cicer aratinum, it is also called as Senaga, and glycine max, this is also called as soya bean. So these are the most important pulses which are rich source of the proteins. And now we see glycine max, it is the uh, most important source of the proteins. So we find the richest proteinaceous material in the glycine max. From the glycine max, different kinds of the food materials also prepared, and soya oil also produced from the glycine max. And regarding the vegetables, Vigna unguiculata, that is also called as cowpea, Phaseolus mungo, Phaseolus aureus, Phaseolus vulgaris, Dolichos lablab, all these are the vegetables. These are popularly used as vegetables. So Dolichos lablab, it is also called as beans or chikudu, and Phaseolus vulgaris, Phaseolus aureus, it is also called as pesalu, Phaseolus mungo, it is also called as minumulu, black gram, Phaseolus aureus as green gram. So these are all popularly used both as vegetables and source of pulses. And when we come to oils, two most important plants we find here, Arachis hypoxia, and mostly we use this groundnut oil. Groundnut oil is produced from Arachis hypoxia from the seeds, and glycine max, it is also called as soya, and soya oil is produced from glycine max, which is rich in proteins. And also we find Pongamia pinnata, it also from the seeds oil is produced, and from the seeds of the Pongamia pinnata, oil is used for leather dressing, soap making, lubrication and illumination. So in industries, this Pongamia pinnata, which is cheaper compared to other oils. So the oil of the Pongamia pinnata is cheaper, so it is usually used in as a lubrication oil for making the soaps and for leather dressing, illumination, etc. And also nowadays, in recent years, the oil of Pongamia pinnata is gaining importance as biodiesel. That means the oil from Pongamia pinnata is mixed with the diesel. It is called as biodiesel. So when we come to timber, Dalbergia sissu, Dalbergia latifolia, Pterocarpus marsupium, Pterocarpus santalinus, Pterocarpus indicus, these are all the sources of timber. Dalbergia sissu is also called a sesame or sisu plant, and Dalbergia latifolia is also called as East Indian rosewood, and Pterocarpus marsupium is also called as Indian kino tree, and Pterocarpus santalinus is also popularly known as red sandalwood. And from our India, it is exported to most of the countries like Japan and China, etc. And this Pterocarpus santalinus is an endemic plant mainly located in the borders of Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. So dyes, Indigofera tinctoria, this is one of the important sources of the dyes. Blue dye is produced from Indigofera tinctoria, used in dyeing of and also printing of the fabric. So cotton is printed and also for making the ink also Indigofera tinctoria is used earlier. From Butea monosperma, particularly from the floral birds, fugitive orange or to red dye is extracted. This dye is also used in the sweets as a natural dye. And also Crotalaria striata produces a black dye. So these are all the natural dyes which can be used in the food materials also. So when we come to medicines, Abrus pectoris is very useful. It is also called as pop guruvinda, and decoction of the leaves and roots are used against cold and cough. And Soralia coryllifolia, popularly known as Bavanchalu, the seeds of these plants are used in the treatment of leukoderma and leprosy. These are the skin diseases. So the seed paste is applied on the leukoderma and leprosy skin disease areas here. And Glycyrrhiza glabra is popularly known as licorice and also called Athimaduram because of its sweetness, excess sweetness. So the roots and stems constitute the drug called licorice used in cough syrups. When we chew the roots or stem parts of Glycyrrhiza glabra for 10 to 15 minutes, that sweetness we can feel. And there is elliptica, the dried roots and seeds of these plants are used as insecticide and as poison. And also one of the most important plant commercially, Crotalaria gentiana, it provides the fibers. They are also called as jute fibers. They are this one is also popularly known as sun hemp, and the fibers from this plant are used for making ropes and gunny bags. So usually our country is one of the most important exporter of the jute fiber. And also for fodder also these plants are very useful. Trifolium alexandrium, also called as clover, Trifolium pratense, Trifolium resupinatum, Medicago sativa, also called as alfalfa, Crotalaria gentiana, and also Paseolus trilobata. These are all the important plants which provide fodder for cattle. And also there are some important ornamental plants like Clitoria ternata, also known as butterfly pea or Senkupushpi, and Erythrina variegata, also known as coral tree or badita. Robinia pseudoacacia, also known as black locust, and Pongamia pinnata, it is the popular avenue tree. And Sesbania sesbon, also called as Avisa. Sophora japonica, also called as Japanese pagoda tree. So these are the important plants in the purpose of for the commercial value. They have a lot of commercial value, and they are important for our economy also. So now we come to the summary. the most important features of this family. These are the taproot system, particularly we find the nodular roots. In the roots, we find the rhizobium bacteria which fix the atmospheric nitrogen. So these plants are useful for the crop rotation, and for the mixed crops these plants are useful. They provide the nitrogen and they enrich the soils with the nitrogen. So these are in the agricultural point of view, Fabaceae plants are very useful. And next, we also find one of the important features like pulvinous leaf base in this family. And also, we find the papilionaceous corolla in this family. This is also the most important feature. Based on this papilionaceous corolla, this family is also known as Papilionaceae. So in the Papilionaceous corolla, we find a standard petal, the largest one at the posterior side, and below this we find two wing petals, and below wing petals we find two fused heel petals. This is also called as 1 plus 2 plus 2 condition. 2 is within brackets. And also we find the descendingly imbricate aestivation in the corolla. This is also one of the important features of the family. And we also find diadelphous condition in the androecium. This is also one of the important features. That means the 9 stamen filaments are fused to form a single bundle, and the remaining one stamen filament is free. It is also called as 9 plus 1 condition. So exception is the Crotalaria, where we find the monadelphous condition. All the 10 filaments fused to form a single bundle called as monadelphous condition. And also we find in the ovary we find the monocarpellary condition. Monocarpellary ovary is found in this family, and unilocular ovary, superior ovary, and marginal placentation is found in this family. These are the important features. And also we observe the characteristic pollination mechanism that is called as Kreston mechanism in this family. So this mechanism favors cross pollination. And also we find the legume kind of the fruits. This is one of the important features of the family. And seeds are dicotyledonous and non-endospermic. Endosperm is usually absent. So these are the important features. And also economically this family is very important. The family members are important source of pulses, proteins. In the form of the pulses, they are important source of the proteins like red gram, that is also called as Cajanus cajan, and also Dolichos lab. It is both used as a seeds and mostly used as a vegetable. Dolichos lab chikudu. And groundnut, it is Arachis hyposia. It is commercially very important. It provides seeds and also it provides cooking oil, that is also called as groundnut oil. And also we find glycine max. From glycine max also oil is produced, that is also called as soya bean oil. And also timber, Pterocarpus xanthinus is commercially very costly wood. Timber is produced from Pterocarpus xanthinus. It is exported from our country as it is endemic to our area. And we can also see the different Abrus precatorius. These are medicinally useful. Soralia, these are all medicinally useful plants. Okay, thank you.